I want to share with you today a passage that comes from Numbers chapter 27, verses 12 through 23. This is a very important passage because it's about Moses and his successor, Joshua. And in verse 18 in chapter 27, God says, "So the Lord said to Moses, take Joshua, son of Nun, a man in whom is the Spirit, and lay your hand upon him." And this is the act in which Moses is going to acknowledge that Joshua is his successor. He's passing the mantle of leadership on to him. And succession planning in anything, whether it's a people like the Israelites, whether it's a church, a business, you name it, succession planning is really important, because when you have a long time, really significant leader like Moses, who is going to follow that up? Who's going to be able to lead the people forward from there and continue to carry them in the right direction? And Joshua, we've heard of and seen from many times earlier, from the spying out of the land to physical battles with other peoples. And we know he is someone who is bold and courageous, someone who has faith, someone who wants to serve the Lord, and someone in whom is God's Spirit. And these are all good qualities to look for in a spiritual leader who's going to have to succeed Moses. One of the things you often see even in churches today is the idea of succession planning. I'm not planning on going anywhere quite yet, so please don't get nervous or, on the other hand, too disappointed if I say. But many churches now are doing more intentional succession planning for when a longtime leader is going to retire or going to move on, and trying to have a successor who's been on staff and been a part of things for a little while, much like Joshua had been with Moses for a period of time. And so it was natural to pass the mantle of leadership on to someone who was younger, but who was also spirit-filled and had the gifts of leadership. So whatever you may be a part of, this can be true in our family. How do we think about the next generation? How do we help our children or grandchildren to learn the lessons we may think are really important to pass on? What are you doing, whether in writing or communicating or conversations, to pass on the lessons of leadership that you've learned throughout the course of your life with those who will come after you in your family or where you work or even in your neighborhood? Thinking about who will come next and how do we serve the next generation is an important part of good leadership.